And by 2005, when they teamed up with the Harlesses to form a nonprofit chamber organization, it became clear that the dream of providing cultural and classical music to a broader, more inclusive America was possible.
Steve and Carol pretty much immediately saw the potential here in what we wanted to start. They had the vision. Steve and Carol have been just terrific. They've been with the whole thing all the way.
On a quiet street, just a few blocks from Mount Vernon's town square, surrounded by historic landmarks and prairie-style homes, the old Central Christian Church, built more than a century ago, sat languishing in the East Texas sun. Rapidly falling into disuse and disrepair, the soundly built but unkempt structure had already seen several incarnations as congregations came and went. But when the Millers were informed the brick prairie-style building was for sale, it was about to experience a new one. It may have been just a happy accident that the acoustics of the hall, with its generous dimensions and natural wood, were ideal for the chamber ensembles of Mount Vernon music. So, with the help of the town, the Millers purchased the old landmark, deeded it back to the newly founded Mount Vernon Music Association, began the extensive renovation, and Mount Vernon Music Hall was born. They enlisted the help of local friends, and support for Mount Vernon music grew through word of mouth to include local business people, community leaders, artists, craftsmen, and lovers of culture. Clearly, there was not only a desire for live professional music, there was also a passionate need. The last piece of the puzzle to fall into place was another moment of serendipity. The gift of a beautiful 1898 Steinway grand piano from an arts-loving patron added the final touch and meant that the historic church-turned-concert hall was now ready to serve as a new sanctuary for live classical and cultural music in Mount Vernon.
It's a beautiful old instrument with a carved case, rather ornate looking, and it was donated to us by a supporter of Mount Vernon music. His name is Tom Wilkinson. His aunt, Agnes Wilkinson Burns, taught piano lessons in the town of Mount Vernon until she was in her 90s. She played in the Central Christian Church. She was a member of that church and provided the music in the services of that church until she was quite advanced in years. And one of her lifelong wishes was to have a Steinway grand piano, and never actually got that wish. So Tom Wilkinson decided he wanted to help Mount Vernon music by supporting us in some way when we went to get a piano to have in the hall. He came to Steinway Hall in Dallas because our co-founder Stephen Harlos had a piano that he was looking at there, one that was on consignment in Steinway Hall. And Steve played an impromptu performance there for Tom Wilkinson, and a few of us assembled. And when Steve was finished, his eyes were moist. It was a very moving experience. Turns out he had selected to play exactly the piece that Tom Wilkinson wanted to hear but was afraid to ask Steve to play. And something was happening there because Steve was kind of emotional when he finished. It was a beautiful performance. And when he finished, Tom Wilkinson stood up and he had tears he was wiping out of his eyes, and he said, "Well, If you all decide you want this piano, I'm going to buy it for you. To this day, the story gives us chills.